let's break down the exact content process I use with clients that has helped my clients 25x their business, signed 3K clients within the first week of joining. And when I say 25x, I don't just mean views or followers, I actually mean turning content into something that brings in consistent leads and clients. Because most people are posting every day and nothing's really happening. And it's usually not a consistency problem, it's more of a structure problem with their content. So they don't really know who they're talking to, they don't know how to structure their content, they don't know how to turn attention into an actual business. So I'm just gonna walk you through the entire system that I actually use. Now, how to figure out your market avatar so your content actually hits your ICP or your ideal client. How to structure your content so you're not just posting random stuff, so you're not just stuck thinking about what to post. And then how hooks actually work so people stop scrolling, because people are scrolling aimlessly and mindlessly the entire day. And then formats that are actually working right now. And if you can understand these 4 pillars, content stops being guesswork and starts being something you can actually rely on to sustainably grow your business. All right, let's get into it. So first thing is your market avatar. And this is where everything kind of starts, right? Because most people skip this or they do it way too surface level. They'll say like, my target audience is entrepreneurs or people who want to lose weight. It's not really an avatar, right? That's a broad category. So what you really actually need is one specific person you understand extremely well. Like you should almost be able to predict what they're thinking and what they're struggling with. And the way you build it isn't by guessing it, right? It's by looking at their patterns. You go through old DMs that you've had, you've looked at past clients or sales calls, you think about conversations you've had with people in that space, even your own experience if you've been through it before. You just start noticing what keeps coming up over and over again. What are people actually stuck on? What are they frustrated with? What do they think the problem is versus what's actually the problem? And after a while, it all starts to form into one type of person. That's your avatar and your ICP, your ideal client profile. And from there, every piece of content you make is basically talking to that one person, not a group of people, one person. You should know how to solve this person's problem better than they would ever know how to solve their problem, and you should know what they're feeling even if they don't know what they're feeling. You have to be so many steps ahead of them so that you're the only solution to their problem, right? And what's interesting most is when you do this right, your content actually connects with more people, not less. Niching down connects with more people, not less, because specificity hits harder than just general advice. So if you can appeal to one specific person and you're not appealing to everybody, you will make a lot of money and you will impact a lot of people with one specific problem. Okay, this is how to actually do your content, right? So there's 3 pillars. There's top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. So now for top of funnel content, this is where most people either go too niche or way too broad, and both kill reach in different ways, right? Top of funnel isn't about being perfectly targeted. It's about getting attention from the right type of people. If you can think of it like this, right? You're not trying to convert people immediately. Okay, nobody's just gonna buy your program after they see your physique. You're just trying to get them to stop scrolling and enter your world, your content ecosystem, enter your funnel, okay? And one way to do this is structure your videos like super broad and then narrow down a little bit towards the middle of the video and then get extremely specific at the end. So then they feel really called out. You've hit a lot of people and you've gotten a lot of engagement. People will like the video at the beginning of the video and scroll. And the people who it actually hits, you will have more people seeing it that are your ideal client rather than starting super niche, because then you won't get the engagement, which means you won't get a lot of eyes and more chances to actually push it out to your ICP. So the beginning has to be relatable enough for anyone to stop scrolling. And then as the video goes on, the right people start leaning in, the wrong people drop off, right? That's okay. You don't need everybody to like your content or watch your content. What matters most is when you get eyes on you, but the eyes are specific, okay? Broad content that still attracts your type of person, because the goal is just volume at the top of funnel, right? Is to get the most amount of eyes, specific eyes on your content. But more attention means more chances your ideal client eventually sees you. And a lot of people underestimate that part, right? They think every video has to be bottom of funnel. Every video has to directly convert. Bro, it doesn't, right? Some videos just exist to bring people in, right? And that's top of funnel, okay? Middle of funnel is probably what you do for your top of funnel. Middle of funnel is where things start to actually get real. This is where you stop talking generally and you start speaking directly to a specific situation. Like you're talking to somebody you already understand really well, and the content should feel like that too. So you're basically saying things like, if this is what you're dealing with, this is probably why. or this is what's actually going wrong here. And the goal isn't just education. Tips is great, value is great, but it's recognition. People want to feel understood, and the person watching should feel like you're describing their exact situation, because once somebody feels understood, trust builds extremely fast, right? It's way faster than just giving tips to the person, and that's what actually turns a viewer into someone that pays attention to you long term. Okay? And it's not because you're louder or your content's better, you're more polished, you have a better editor, a better camera, or better physique. Nobody cares. People care how you make them feel, people care if they trust you, and people care if they like you. It's because they know you understand them better than other people do. That's middle of funnel. Now, content quality and decision making. This part matters more than people actually think. Your content actually has to look and feel good. Yes, the information is important. Yes, the hooks are important. If your captions suck, if you're set up in your bedroom and you don't look like you run a successful business, why would people, one, ever buy coaching from you? And two, why would anybody stop scrolling to see your shitty video? And the more shitty videos you post, the more people are trained to immediately scroll from your videos. Because people decide in like a second whether they're gonna keep watching. So if your video feels low effort, like you just decided to set your phone up and start recording, they assume the value is low too. So everything matters. The hook, the pacing, the lighting, the captions, the energy, the framing, all of it. And the simple rule I always go by is, if I wouldn't watch this, I don't post it. If you wouldn't watch your own content, why do you expect anybody else to watch your content, right? Then there's the decision-making side. Stop guessing what works, look at your data, okay? If one video gets 5,000 views and another one gets 500, don't overthink it. Just break down what made the 5K one work. Was it the hook? Was it the structure? Was it the pacing? Now, don't repeat the video word for word, repeat the format, not the idea, the structure. And if you can repeat that, double down on what works, then maybe your next video is gonna get 20K. Double down on that, 40, it compounds, and then your content gets so good, you bring in such a huge ecosystem of leads, you make a ton of money. And that's how you scale content consistently without starting from zero, right? Because if you know something already works for you, and you know it brings in ICP, you know it brings in your dream follower and leads, why not double down on it? And I can assure you, if you've been posting for the past 3 to 6 months, you have a video that's worked really well for you, that has brought in some type of ICP, some type of people that want to lose weight. So just repeat it. And then hooks, right? Hooks are everything. I mean, it's the only thing that gets people to listen to you and stop scrolling. If your hook fails, nothing else actually matters. And there's only really a few things that stop someone from scrolling. Either curiosity, a pattern interrupt, or controversy. So curiosity, they actually need to know what happens next. A pattern interrupt is something unexpected that breaks their scroll. Maybe something funny that you start the video off with that's like, oh, I didn't expect him to say that. Or just like flashing something in front of the camera, saying anything. Controversial will bring you comments, which will bring you engagement to your video because people are commenting on your video. And then the certain type of people that your ICP is, because those people have to relate with you, will like your content, which means you bring more people in that actually trust you and actually relate with your values and who you are, which means you get more clients. That's basically it, right? Because people aren't consciously deciding what to watch, especially on Instagram. They're just scrolling on autopilot. YouTube, a little bit different. But Instagram, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. They can't see what they're gonna see. So your job is to break that pattern just for a second. Get them to pause and then earn the watch after. Say something worth their while that gives them information, that gives them value, that tells a story, that does something that positively impacts their life. Because let's be real, nobody cares about you. They care about what you can do for them. So give them enough value, give them enough information, be likable enough to get them to stop scrolling and then watch the entire video. That's hooks, and it's extremely simple, okay? Content formats. Let's talk about the formats that are actually working right now. First, and this is the strongest one by far, documenting, right? Instead of posting or talking about what you know, just show it, okay? The behind the scenes, your process working out, your process behind the scenes filming content, client work, workouts, day to day, whatever makes sense for your niche, right? Because right now, there is a huge trust gap online and people don't just believe claims anymore. They believe proof. So documenting builds trust way faster than actually talking. And then there's personal branding, because you don't want to just be a page that gives information. You want people to actually feel like they know you, because when that happens, everything you say lands harder. I know you can think of your favorite creator right now, and you probably trust them way more than anybody else on the market because you've watched so many of their videos and you would buy anything that they say. They have no clue who you are. But because you've watched so much content, because they're so relatable, you would buy anything they sell. And so that's why documenting and personal branding is so important, because if you can get people to like you without without even knowing them, without even having a conversation with them, then the sell is there. As soon as you get them into the ecosystem, boom, the trust is there. You just have to ask. And then it's a confirmation of a sale, because the transformation content will help them understand what you do actually works. Obviously, it has to be specific, right? It's not, I lost weight in a year, but it's more like, I'm a 30-year-old dad who was stuck, had no energy, couldn't lose weight, here's how I fixed it. That's the specificity, and that's what makes it believable, and that's what makes it hit harder to your ideal client. And then you've got really, really top of funnel stuff that brings in good leads, but it doesn't convert super well, but it'll bring in a lot of leads. So like tier list videos, clone content, stuff that already has proof that it works. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel, okay? I don't know who made the wheel, but you're not trying to be that dude, all right? You're just adapting formats that already get attention. If you see a video is cooking up on your For You page and you realize everybody's hopping on this format, just rip it. If it works for you, it works for you. And then if it brings in ICP, rip it again. Double down on what works. Like, it is really simple, and people complicate content too hard. Make a good hook that stops people scroll. Copy formats from other people, don't reinvent the wheel. Talk about not only just what you do for your clients or what you do for your business, but talk about yourself, show your life, and then you have built a personal brand that involves you, that involves the value that you give, and the transformations you give to your clients, which is the perfect content ecosystem for actually making money, okay? So zooming out, this is the entire system. This is what took my client Aiden from getting 200 views a video to getting 40,000 views. This is what took Noah from posting every single day, getting no clients, and then the first week working with me, he signs a 3K client. This is what has 250x my clients' businesses. So most people fail with content because they don't actually have a system. They're just posting and hoping something hits. But once you've got the clear avatar, a real funnel structure, strong hooks, and proven formats, content stops being random and it starts becoming something you can actually rely on to grow your business, a real system. That's all of the information that I gave to Aiden. If you're one of my clients, don't get mad at me that I'm giving away this much sauce, because nobody's gonna implement it. If you do, super proud of you. Hit me up on Instagram at RivWang. Send me a DM, ask me questions on content. I'm always there for you. And if you want a free consultation call, I will book one in with you. You just have to ask. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'll see if I can actually help you where you're at, where you're trying to be. You can book a call straight through with me, and we'll get your content dialed in so you can start getting those 20, 30, 50K months, and we'll grow your business together. I appreciate you watching this video, and I will see y'all in the next one.